Good morning, it's Sandy the Canadian Stamper. Welcome to Saturday Morning Crafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Colwood, BC, Canada. And every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock I go live and we do a project. And the first Saturday of the month is always special because I give you a sneak peek at the in-person class that I do, kind of like a buffet style, if you've ever heard of that kind of crafting, where you get a basket, you come in person and you make some cards. So buckle up, got all of the projects here I'm gonna show you. And then today's card is pretty quick. So we're using Modern Christmas 12 by 12 DSP. It is super popular, it's an online exclusive, and the paper has a beautiful gold, black, and white color tones to it, which make for elegant Christmas cards. So we're not using any extra stuff. We're just using the DSP. It's gonna sort of be our star for the project. So let me flip you and show you the projects for today. So we've got 12 friends coming. So I asked everybody, are you interested in only Christmas cards, or are we good to do some other stuff? This one's sort of different, hey? And the consensus was a mix, but honestly, I kind of did more of a not Christmas than anything else because I had this new stuff that I wanted to try out. So this one is new, will be available to everybody in January. And then this one here, I'm not sure if it's available yet or it will be soon. I haven't memorized the names of things yet. And then this one here is a fun fold. It's like got a bit of an accordion, and then this is a little pocket. And so this comes out. So this is a fun fold, like mega card. So if you saw a post earlier today or earlier this week, I talked about some kits. I'm doing a fundraiser kind of thing, kits for kids. These are my kits so far. I have 43 kits. So inside these boxes are things like this. This is the, whoops, that's upside down. This is the So Much to Celebrate. So this kit's actually $15. It's on the last chance list, which was just updated this week. So I have 43 and I'm going for 50. 50 kits. That's what I'm trying to get to. And they're all gonna go to Santa's Anonymous for the kids. So these ones here are the, can I do it with one hand? Let's see. Oh yeah, I can. So this is the framed, I think there's 3 frames in there. So that's good for teenagers, I think. So there's younger kids and older kids. Kits in here. There's some pet ones. The By Your Side kit is all pets. Anyways, if you'd like to donate, I would love it if you would help me get to my goal of 50 kits. I'm so close. And there's kits that are on the last chance list, so like $15, and I think we'll get there. So maybe drop something in the comments and I'll follow up with you if you want to get in on that. And before Christmas, of course, I'll take it down to CFAX Santa's Anonymous. My boxes, probably a 4th box of kits, and do that. So I'm excited about that. I've been collecting kits since September, and I'm almost there. So I hope you join me. All right, let's show you what I got going on at my desk. See this beauty? This showed up in the mail earlier this week, and it is, I can't open it for everybody, but my catalogs are on the way. So this is sometimes, well, all the time, this gives you a hint as to what's in the kit. So this is January to April 2026 mini catalog. And usually on the back, they give you some more opportunities for hints, but they kind of, not so much this time. I mean, we know about the blender pen and we know about the blending brush, but there's no other product there, but that's all right. I love this beautiful Highland Heather. So that's that catalog. So if you need a catalog, let me know. Just drop it in the comments and I'll follow up with you afterwards. Digital catalog will go out at the beginning of January when I'm allowed to release it to everybody. In the newsletter, if you're not on the newsletter, it's the place to be. All right, so here's all of our supplies. These here are, so this is the paper the Modern Christmas. Okay, this is what my paper looks like, and it doesn't look very good. So Modern Christmas, and it's all sort of in pieces, obviously, which doesn't really showcase the paper very well. Maybe if I go this side, it does a bit. It's still available on the Stampin' Up site. It's $23 for the pack. So this paper right here is what we're showcasing today. And in past cards, this is what we've showcased where we've just cut this up. So I love it when we can take the designer series paper and just chop it up, and that's what makes our card. So I find it pretty expensive to always buy like a bundle with the stamps, the dies, the paper, the embellishments, all the things. I try to only buy two bundles, and then I get the designer series paper, and then I try to make the cards from just the designer series paper, and that's what I've done in these samples. So I hope you like it. Today's project, if you want to get your pen or paper, pen and paper, I will tell you the measurements. The PDF download will be in the newsletter tomorrow, of course, but in case you want to write it down now and make it today. So standard A2 size card base, which is 5.5 by, what is this? How big is this? 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4 is our card base. Oh, I need this. Then we have one piece of cardstock, and we have these pieces of designer series paper. So this designer series paper is 3. They're all 5.5 because I want it to go the full width of the card. So if you don't like cards that go horizontal and you would prefer it to be this way, then just cut your designer series paper accordingly. So it's left to right, it'd be 4 1/4 by 3. You might have to go a bit taller than 3. But anyways, you get the idea. So 5.5 by 3, and then we have 5.5 by 1 1/4 for a piece of black cardstock. And then that sort of takes up our whole card front. We'll get it glued down here in a moment. And then we have this little strip. So when putting a couple of pieces of cardstock together, it's nice to have a transition piece, which reminds me of flooring. Actually, you have a transition piece, but a 1/2 by 5.5. So we go like this. And then from the designer series paper, I have already fussy cut the trees, and there's a ton of trees to choose from. And so our transition piece is going to act like where our trees are going to sit. So I think it's important to have the transition piece. And then we'll add some dimension. And that's going to be our card front. And then we're going to put our sentiment down here. And then, oh, I forgot. I got look at these beauties. Adhesive backed metallic gems. This is copper, gold, and silver. And they're kind of like a hexagon almost. And they're kind of 3D. They're fun. So it's going to go perfect. The gold will go perfect here. And we just need a sentiment. I want to use 'Tis the Season, but it's over in one of the bins, so I'll have to do a different one. Should bring up your comments. So we might go Season's Greetings, actually. Season's Greetings, because I think that'll fit perfectly. Let's just see. I forgot about pulling up a sentiment before we started. What's everybody doing today for Saturday? Are you Christmas shopping, Christmas wrapping? We got to get our tree up today, I think. Perhaps tomorrow, once we're finished with the craft and chat today. All right, so let's start gluing, and then we will heat emboss, and that'll be the end of it. We will be finished. So I do have one more project to make or finish making for the craft and chat. So I will post that later today. We're actually going to heat emboss because I don't want to glue any more on until I have this piece down. All right, so if you're new to heat embossing, these are the things that you need. Oh, I should bring up your comments. One moment, and we'll start this again. There we go. Okay, so if you're new to heat embossing, this is what you need. You need your cardstock, of course. You need Versamark, which is clear, kind of sticky ink. You need an embossing buddy, and you need your sentiment, of course. Then you need powder. So you can get a 3-pack of powder, black, white, and silver, or silver, gold, and something. So this is the clear embossing powder. I have had this for probably 5 or 6 years. It will literally last you a very, very long time. This is optional, and you do need a paintbrush. So Stampin' Up! Sells the whole kit where you get the tray, you get a tweezer, reverse tweezers, you get the paintbrush, and I'll show you what it does in a moment. I keep all of my heat embossing stuff in a basket, and before I got this tray, I used to just use a piece of cardstock, and that also works. So this is how it goes. You take your embossing buddy and you're just gonna run it over your cardstock. It gets rid of the static that might be on your paper, which is important because when you stamp, we don't want there to be static on your paper because the static will hold on to the embossing powder, and then you'll end up with embossing powder where you don't want it. So I'm just gonna get this as close to the center as possible. So that's that. You can't see it, but it's there. Then you're gonna take your tray and your embossing powder. Oops, got a little fluff in there. And you're going to shake the powder over what you just stamped. I give it a bit of a tap to make sure that the powder gets in all the little crevices. Give it a gentle tap to shake off any excess. And then if you had some excess that you didn't want, you would just use the paintbrush to very gently sweep away any extra. That looks pretty good. If there's a piece that was missed, or let's say, for example, I did that and now it's not right. So you can just take this and go again. It's pretty forgiving. Then, I don't know if you can see, we have a tiny bit of extra. It's not coming off, so we're going to just use our paintbrush to gently flick away what we don't want. Now, so set that aside, and then I'm not gonna do it with you, but what you would do, okay, why don't I do it? You wanna save all this powder. Don't throw it away. And it goes back in your little pot. And save it for next time. That's it. Then this goes back on. Top goes on. And you're ready for the next time. 10 times out of 10, you will end up with dust on your work surface. So and then now we need to heat set this. So you do need a heat tool, so Stampin' Up! Has a heat tool. You have options 1 and 2 for heat setting. Don't cover your hand over that because that's where the air comes in. And you're gonna let this heat up. Let it heat up. Okay? So I'll So you can do it a little bit on the back because it might warp, the cardstock might warp a little bit. I'm gonna try and do it so you can see the magic happen. Oh my gosh, this is clear. This is the wrong heat embossing powder. We're gonna have to do it again. There we go. There's a blooper for you. Do you see it? I think you can see it, right? It's not right. And then that's done. So today we have successfully heat embossed on clear on black. It's not right. Let me try this again. I took the white, I thought it was white, but it clearly says clear. Oh, so let's try this again. Let's look for white. There's white. See, it looks very similar, doesn't it? Let's try this again. Good thing there's two sides to the paper. All right, so in case you missed it, we're doing it again. Inking up, oh, need my embossing buddy. This is just filled with talcum powder. All right, so I'm just lining up. We're gonna go in the middle. Perfect. We're gonna do same, but with white. A little tappy tap. So see how it's not, I don't love the coverage. So we're gonna do it some more. And it doesn't really matter how much, like how heavy you go with your embossing powder because you're gonna save it. There, that's got better coverage. So what I'm not gonna do is flip it and tap it because I feel like it's tapping off too much. So I'll just get rid of the excess with my little brush. So if you did not use the brush to get rid of the excess, you're just gonna end up with some extra little flakes. So where the white powder has stuck on your cardstock is where it's gonna melt. And when it melts, it's staying there forever. All right, that's good. I will clean this up after. Let's try that again. Our heat gun should be pretty warm. Let's try this again. Good morning, Janice. Welcome to the morning. Terry, oh, Lori, you're going to the truck parade tonight. Awesome. So there. Now we're getting it. Beautiful. So if you're going to make multiples of these, cut multiple strips, do multiple Versamarks, dump them in your your embossing powder, and then heat emboss a bunch of them. I don't recommend clear. And you can make multiples. All right, so there was a bonus heat embossing. All right. So this is gonna fit perfectly here. And if you sort of make a boo-boo with your cutting and these don't connect all the way, not to worry, because we have cut a transition piece. So that's good. Perfect. So this one's gonna go here. I am gonna put dimension with my trees. You could pop this piece up if you want to give it a bit of a different look. What do you guys think of this paper? Anytime I've used it in classes and stuff, like there's never any kits left. People love this designer series paper. So we'll see how we sort of set up our trees. I don't want these trees to be together. Okay. Gail, you're putting up your tree today. Awesome. Same. Okay, so with a bit of dimension, I can't wait to put our gold embellishments on. Okay, so I'm lining this up so we're straight. We're doing the center one first, obviously. And like I said, I'm using this transition as kind of where my trees are gonna sit. So I'm not going down, but I'm kind of bringing it down a little bit just to give it a different kind of look. And I want them to be a little bit overlappy. That's not even a word, overlapping, just making stuff up. I feel like it needs just a mini here, like a mini. Okay, so tell me, who's finished their Christmas shopping already? Whoops. I'm interested to know. I'm done, y'all. I'm done. I felt like a total failure last year because I left it to the last minute. I wasn't happy with my gifts. So this year, I promised myself that I would be organized. Yeah, okay, this is good. That one needs it too. Okay, I recommend a little something under your star. Shoot. Okay, I'm doing it. And for those of you who are following along, my nails are still staying on. My nail polish, I should say. That one. Beautiful. All right, so let's do our gems. Our adhesive back metallic gems. Hello, my pretties. Where will you go? There. Trying to figure out which ones are gold and which ones are copper. We're gonna do 3. I love it. What do you guys think? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Round of applause. What do you think? I think it's good. It's a perfect little Christmas card. So if you made some boo-boos on the cutting, flip it over, and if you're a little bit over, just go ahead and take your long scissors, cut from the back, and kind of trim it up. There we go. There's our project for today. So this will be one of the Craft and Chat video or projects. So the next Craft and Chat is going to be December 10th. Usually it's the first Saturday, but because of New Year's, we're going to do it the second Saturday. So if you'd like to join for the Craft and Chat in January, the first one in January, it'll be all new Stampin' Up! Products. Go ahead and drop a comment and I will follow up with you. And I super enjoy crafting with you Saturday mornings. Thank you for joining me. I hope you learned a little bit today. If you'd like to donate for the kits to help me get, I need 7 more kits to get to 50 for the kids. Comment as well and I'll follow up. Have a fantastic Saturday and I wish you a very Merry Christmas and we'll see you next Saturday. Bye for now.